Yeah, we are bringing up good stuff. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to another episode on Create Above and Beyond. If you love the Create mod, redstone engineering, and Minecraft automation, then this is definitely the series and the channel for you. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss when another video comes out. If you guys missed the last episode or you'd like to get caught up on the series, then the link to the playlist is down in the channel. But in the last episode, we went with the chaotic alchemy route in the quest book, which is actually chapter 4a. We went through all of the recipes with the reagents to get all of our catalysts, and then we used the catalysts to get our chaotic catalysts, and now we're producing silicon reagent by using lapis, turning that into the lapis reagent, and then transmuting it into silicon. And so far we have about 900 silicon built up. And with a steady supply of silicon now coming in, we should be well on our way to getting the calculation mechanisms and finishing up chapter 4. But in this episode, I want to take a little bit of a detour. In this episode, I am going to start my first mega project of the series. Well, I guess the base itself is a mega project, but this is kind of like a mega side project. So anyway, after we did all of the reagent stuff over here, we determined that we actually can't transmute anything into diamonds because the recipe that we have for transmuting diamonds is actually from sapphire, and you can't actually farm sapphire. But what we can do is we actually can just make the base diamond reagent by mixing together gold reagent and niter reagent. So the point of this mega project is to get infinite diamonds. Now, of course, we could just set up a contraption that grinds out diamonds infinitely, but that's not good enough for me. What we're actually after right now is molten diamond. So molten diamond, obviously you just get, if it's not obvious, you get it by melting down diamonds and diamond tools, diamond armor, etc. But we're going to melt down just plain old diamonds, so we're gonna have to set up a diamond farm. But the idea is once you get 10,000 source blocks of molten diamond in the create mod, you can set up a hose pulley fed down into the liquid, and if it's 10,000 or more source blocks, just like you can do with water and lava that we did earlier in the series, you have a bottomless supply. And once we have a bottomless supply, we can pump the liquid diamond out and convert it back into diamonds, and wham! We have infinite diamonds. So once again, using chaotic alchemy, we can mix together gold reagent and nitric reagent to get diamond reagent, and then we can extract out the diamond dust and compact the diamond dust into actual diamonds. And here in my hand, I have the official plan for how we're going to do this. So step 1 is to produce gold. So there's many ways to get gold, but I think the easiest and most efficient and prolongable way we can do to get gold is to first generate cobbled granite from an igneous extruder down at bedrock, and we'll just transfer it back up to the base using some ender chests. Then we smelt the cobbled granite into regular granite, crush it into red sand, and then we can actually wash the red sand to get our gold. Then we obviously put the gold, well, we'll get gold nuggets, we can compact it into gold ingots, and then we can put that into gold reagent. And then step 2 is to get niter. Now actually, you can get niter by pulverizing sandstone. So we just generate sand, compact that into sandstone, and then pulverize it to get niter. It's like a 30% chance, but we can actually boost it. I don't know if the upgrades actually boost it, the resonant upgrades or any of those. I know you can add a catalyst, which is flint. I don't know if that increases your chances of getting niter either, but we're essentially just going to set up giant machines that give us an infinite supply of these two resources, and then we're going to mix them together into diamonds and just let it roll. So here's step number 1 for the gold. We've got an igneous extruder down at bedrock using polished packed ice, which is new to me, I've never heard of that before, and lava on top of bedrock, and this is making our granite. So we're currently feeding this into a specific ender chest that we're going to plop up top, so then we can crush this down, get our red sand, and wash it. We've improved the igneous extruder with a resonant integral component, and essentially what this does is it produces 4 granite a second instead of just 1. So hopefully this should be plenty of granite. Our goal is going to be to keep up with the igneous extruder and crank through it as quickly as possible so we can produce gold. So here we have attempt number 1 at producing gold, and I actually have the beginning part turned off because I have to make some tweaks to it. So here we have the granite cobblestone that's being fed into this redstone furnace that's turning it into granite. We're then crushing the granite down and turning it into red sand here. Then the red sand is being fed through this series of encased fans to be washed for a chance to get some gold nuggets, which are collecting up in this drawer over here. We already have 201 gold nuggets, but the problem is this isn't fast enough. So as you can see, I've expanded out our line of encased fans. There are 28 total encased fans, 14 on each side, and I did some playing around with this in creative and determined that a belt of this length going at 96 RPM, all of the sand will be washed by the time it gets to the end here, and that will maximize the efficiency of this. Now, of course, you only have, I think it's a 12% chance to get a gold nugget from washing the red sand, as far as I know. Let's double check. Red sand, a 12% chance to get 2 gold nuggets, which actually isn't too shabby. But like I said, this is not fast enough. So I'm going to expand this out. Hopefully this will be able to keep up. And I think the other thing that we're going to have to do, ladies and gents, because once again, this is a mega build and we want it to be super fast. After all, we do need about 70,000 diamonds. Is I might expand out this exact setup maybe 4 times or so and see how much gold we can get from that. I essentially want to be cranking out gold reagent as fast as humanly possible, and of course that nitric reagent, which we're going to be getting to next. So let's see if we can expand this bad boy. Popped over to creative, and I think I have designed a washing machine that is a lot more efficient than that tiny little one. So it's essentially, it's the same concept, except in this case we have 6 rows of the red sand, because at the speeds that we're powering the fans at, these can actually go out 6. So I wanted to keep it as compact as possible instead of just replicating that same old design. So up here we've got a pretty good setup. We got the granite feeding into the crushing wheels over here. I mean, we'll have to replace this with the redstone furnaces in between, but it'll essentially be the same rates, I believe. And then that's pooping out the red sand down here, and we're washing it to get the gold and the dead bushes. Now, problem. It still isn't fast enough. It's producing enough gold. I've been watching it for a while. It's producing enough gold nuggets to get me a gold ingot, which is what we need to make the gold reagent for the diamonds. We're getting 1 gold ingot like every 4 to 5 seconds. And my goal is to get 1 gold ingot per second. So yeah, this ain't fast enough even so. And it's still not even remotely fast enough. We gotta go bigger. Now that's what I'm talking about. So I've taken that design and I've essentially replicated it 5 more times, so we now have a total of 6 of them. And if you hear the mechanical press dinging, this thing is cranking out gold nuggets like nobody's business. I think it's more like 2 per second, so I've actually made it more efficient than I wanted to begin with. So, couple issues with this. It's going to require somewhere along the lines of, let's do some quick math here, 320 RF a tick times 6 is like 20,000 times 6 is like 80,000 RF a tick, which is crazy. And then this is using over 120,000, I think it's somewhere along the lines of that, stress, which is insane. But like I said, this is a mega project. This is what we have to do. Yeah, so I think we're gonna pop over to the world and see what we can do. I don't know exactly what we're gonna have to do, if we're gonna have to expand out dynamos or maybe have some dedicated dynamos for this. I'll have to take a look. But anyway, let's pop back over and let's see what we can do. I did some horrible math on the RF a tick. Each one is using 320. That means each farm is using 1900, which means we need about 12,000 RF a tick, not 80,000. And I was just taking a look at these magmatic dynamos because my power plant over in the single player world, I think it was what, like 10 dynamos or something like that. So it was like 6,400 RF a tick. But these magmatic ones, I could actually feed lava into these, and since we have an unlimited supply of lava from the nether, this might actually work out. So the total amount, I would need like 18 of these, which is like, if we set up like that's 6, that's really not that many. 9, 12, 15, 18, and then maybe a couple for good luck. So that's how many we would need to power this entire farm. I really don't think it's that outrageous. And like I said, this is a mega build, so we're gonna make it mega. Alrighty, so we're back in the world. I'm currently doing the resource collection that we need for the farm. The most notable things that we're going to need are 168 encased fans, which means I needed to press down like over 500 sheets of iron, which are currently cranking out. We need 72 crushing wheels. We needed like 160 something encased chain drives. I've actually repurposed my crushing wheel production over here temporarily so that, okay, we already have 54. Just need 72 of those. Quite a few crushing wheels. And I'll show you where we're actually going to plop down this gold farm just right next to the power plant over here in this area. I've got the schematic cannon placed down over here already. This is everything I've collected up in terms of materials. So once we get all the materials going, we're gonna build this bad boy. We're now all set with the materials. Here is everything that we actually needed. 36 redstone furnaces, 36 smart chutes. This actually took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So we're now all set. All I gotta do is press play on the schematic cannon and we are ready to go. So let's get this bad boy going. Built, and it is looking really snazzy, but it's actually not done yet. So let me explain to you guys what exactly we got going on. So for each of these redstone furnaces back here, which are going to be smelting up the cobbled granite into just the regular granite. Each one of these has to have one resident integral component upgrade, which I've already built 36 of those for each of the furnaces, and 3 flux linkage amplifiers. And for flux linkage amplifiers, we're gonna need like 2 stacks of these things, and each one of them requires 2 constant tin and 8 lead. So that's a total of 4 times 8 stacks of lead, which is what? 32 stacks of lead, which I absolutely don't have right now. Wait a second, did I do that math right? So it's 8 per, and we need 2 stacks. So that's 8 lead. It is way too early in the morning. We need a lot of lead, okay? And I don't have enough right now. So, but I think we might have enough silver that we can buy up that lead. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed quite a mega farm, but we're gonna keep on cranking. Before we do that, I actually wanted to let you guys know of a little change that we're going to be making down here. So as you can see, this is a little different than what we were doing in creative, and that is because we're not going to be producing the gold reagents right off the bat. I think what we're going to do is, well, our goal is to get a giant vat full of liquid diamonds so we could have unlimited diamonds, but I actually think it would be cool to have a vat for each type of resource. That would be super that's just like the ultimate flex. So we're gonna build a bunch of giant vats over here. We're gonna probably do one for gold, one for probably iron, because you can do molten iron, and we'll do molten diamond, and then whatever other ones I can think of. So the first one we're going to do is gold. So we're going to take all of the gold ingots, we're going to melt them down in a magma crucible. I don't have it over here yet. And then we're just going to fill up the vat. And then once we have 10,000 source blocks of molten gold, then we virtually have unlimited gold. And in theory, having unlimited gold means we could produce gold ingots even faster, because then we can pump the molten gold out and produce probably like 50 gold ingots per second or something crazy like that. So that'll be much faster on our quest to getting the gold reagent that we need to fill up the diamond vat. So this is going to be step 1 in this mega project process. Yeah, lots of work to do. Let's go. It's 16 stacks of lead. So I got a tiny bit of the machine running. We have 4 of the 36 available belts running. So this is producing gold extremely slowly, well, relative to how fast we need it to go. Well, let me show you guys exactly what we got going on back here if I can't get on top. Okay, here we go. So each one of these redstone furnaces requires its own dedicated dynamo, and the way that I'm doing it is I'm using magmatic dynamos, which convert lava into RF, since we have virtually infinite lava. So I only have the first 4 going because each one needs a resonant integral component and an auxiliary reaction chamber to keep up with the redstone furnace. So these last 2 aren't really working. They can't produce enough RF right now to keep up with the furnaces. So I'm gonna need to go ahead and craft up a bunch of these reaction chambers now, a bunch more magmatic dynamos, and then we could probably get the thing going. On top of that, I want to get the magma crucible going down here so we can start melting down the gold. And we'll also get the vat going as well, so we can dump that molten gold into the vat and start filling her up. So I got all the magmatic dynamos crafted up, and then I remembered that we are going to have to expand out our granite production, and right now I have, see, Georgie agrees with me, and right now I have 3 of them running, fully upgraded with resonant integral components, and that is enough to supply granite for 1 of these 6 different belts. Yeah, so maybe I should clarify that. It's 1 of the 6 separate farm thingies that we have going on. So yeah, I think it works out to like 2.5 igneous extruders per, so that means we'll need like 15 of these things working at once. How many times have I mentioned that this thing is mega? Yeah, it's pretty mega. We've crafted like 2 stacks of these things. Like, we're gonna need like a stack of ender chests. Like, it's just absolutely wild. I'll check back with you guys in a bit after I've reclaimed my sanity. Okay, some progress on the grind. Here is the 15 igneous extruders that we needed. Like I said, I think each one of the 6 mini farms within the mega farm are probably going to need about 2.5 igneous extruders punching out the granite. So hopefully this is enough. I think maybe at most we'd need like 1 or 2 more if this isn't enough. But yeah, let's pop back up to the surface and see what we're working with now. So since our resources are getting a bit skimpy, I've actually able to reduce down each one of the 6 farms to use 2 ender chests, and each one can supply 3 of the 6 belts. So I just put funnels around each of them like this, and make sure that the granite is coming out onto each one like that. This will significantly reduce the number of ender chests we'll have to make. So now the idea is I'm going to turn on this second one and make sure that everything is able to keep up. The only other thing I might have to expand out is my lava production, because I'm going to take this line right here of pipes and run it all the way over here to throw the lava into these magmatic dynamos then as well. And if that can't keep up with the lava, then we'll have to expand out the lava production as well. And then this is the layout that we're going to have for the next 2 tiers as well. I feel like I just said as well like 747 times. My brain is completely fried after all of this. This is quite a crazy project. Let's keep going. Okay, I now have 4 of the farms active, and it looks like the granite is able to keep up, but the lava is not. So I'm gonna have to expand out our lava intake in order to keep this thing going. So The lava farm I set up, I think, a couple episodes ago. I'm probably just going to run over to the nether and expand that out. And I'll see you guys there. Lava production is now expanded. I added two... Shh, be quiet. I'm trying to say something. I added 2 additional hose pulleys over here, all feeding into the same ender chest. I didn't want any of the pipes to intertwine because that would mean the lava would just get backed up and it wouldn't be an extra pipe leading in. So hopefully this is enough to keep up now. Let's pop back. Lava production seems to be sufficient now, at least for 4 active at once. And granite production seems to be keeping up as well. So now the moment of truth, let's turn on the remaining 2 and cross our fingers. And there it is, folks. All 6 farms are now running together as a little gold producing family. And you can just hear how absolutely wild the mechanical press is going. We are producing somewhere between 2 and 4 gold ingots per second, which is the rates that I was looking for. So it seems that the lava production is able to keep up, and the granite production is able to keep up as well. I can pop down here and show you guys we are producing enough granite to keep up, and the ender tanks with the lava in them are remaining full, so the lava production is adequate as well. So the next step from here would be to smelt all of the gold down into liquid gold and start filling up that vat so we can get 10,000 liquid gold source blocks and virtually have infinite gold. So we'll have to set up the magma crucible and then probably another ender tank and then build the vat, which is probably going to go over here. But unfortunately for this episode, this mega project has taken way too long and I am out of time. So in the next episode, we'll be setting up the vat and probably make progress towards the second item that we want to get infinite amount of, and that is diamonds. And then on top of that, I think we're also going to strive for a few more as well. So stay tuned, you guys don't want to miss it. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you're looking forward to the rest of the series, then hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications, and I will see you guys again. Take care. Bye bye.